Up, peoples? This is my live stream for today. And today is a special day because I was summoned to jury duty today. And my rights was violated, yo. So what's interesting to me is moving forward, right? All these officials of the government, right? If any one of you, no, let me start over. If we, as the common folk, are looking at the officials of the government, any one of them should start to feel shame if you ask them to see their college degrees that they have hanging on their walls. Like damn near all of them should be ashamed of themselves. And a lot of them, they would not want you to see it. But because we're challenging the system and they're going to be like, hey, they want to see my college degree. They will challenge the challenge and say, hey, fuck it. Here, look at it. This is my college degree. So these morons with master's degrees are doing some of the weirdest things I've ever fucking seen, yo. So the summons that I had for jury duty, I informed them on it that their summons is an instrument of a crime under section whatever of the criminal code, right? The United States Criminal Code. And I also put on there, they denied me my rights to seek an attorney before agreeing to participate, right? In the hardship area. And in addition to that, right under the hardship area or around that area, it says, if you do not comply with the summons, you will be held in contempt of court, right? And being held in contempt, right? I looked up the word today, and let me pull it up real quick. The word contempt. The feeling or attitude of looking down, right? So I added into this on educated judges and criminals, right? As low, mean as an angry, and unworthy. So us as victims of a system are being forced into something that we don't want to participate in. And because we are angry at the system and we look down on them, the elevated high people with education, as unworthy, right? So y'all not worth my time. And I don't have to show up to court type of stuff. So that's contempt, right? So there's another word to like handle the situation. It's like truancy. So when you go to high school, there's like truancy court. You didn't show up, right? But this word specifically is contempt. So these clowns have been using this fucking word ever since graduating college, right? To basically throw people in jail and force others to participate in the system. So a lot of it has to do with Jesus and the Bible and the religion, right? And the way the Christians are running the world. And another part of it is Jesus not coming. So the system is ongoing if people don't change it, right? So these judges, they grew up in the system. They're part of the system. But let me share with y'all some of the things I witnessed today. So one of the things I witnessed, when I first got there to the jury place, apparently my jury paper was confiscated, right? So I found that interesting. I was like, this is weird. Last time I kept the shit, I normally keep it. I put it in a fucking, in a box or something. And I walked in the room and I double checked. I saw other people with theirs. So I was like, yo, this dude's supposed to give it back to me. So I went back for it. So apparently this criminal that's aiding and abetting with this whole weird ass racketeering bullshit, right? The clerk that takes this shit from me gives me an attitude problem. I'm like, hey, you didn't give me back my summons. He was like, you don't need it. I was like, but other people have theirs. Like, why don't you give it back to me? What's the reason? I have to do something with it. So there's no fucking reason why he should confiscate that. And if you want to look higher and above it, like, they don't need that paper. If I submitted a copy or a similar copy of it to them stating why they shouldn't send me that shit, right? So on it, I informed them that they deny me my right to see an attorney because they did this shit 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and they still sending this shit to me, yo. And I'm not interested in participating in it. So with that said, right, the person that I was supposed to provide a verdict, right? These fucking clowns told me that the lawyers or whatever back there got a big, he made a deal with them. So this dude, that the criminal or the person that's being accused of a crime, he is a victim. I am a victim. So y'all want to see this shit? This right here is the check from the jury that I did today, right? And if I cash this fucking check, I'm going along with the system. So I blanked out I folded out the bank account information or whatever, because, you know, it might lead to some other shit based on these dumb fucks with college degrees. But I'm about to show y'all what you got to do with these checks. This is a bullshit $9 check, right? And you got to tear it the fuck up. Don't cash it. This is $9 worth of my time to force me to basically cause harm against an innocent person with the justice system. So while I was in there today, a couple of the court employees was bragging about money. How this $9, right? I forgot. Damn. I didn't have a chance to write it down. They said something of, they was joking around about this. And then there was also joking about how they're on the clock and they're getting paid. Right? So when these judges, lawyers, and all these weird fucks are bragging about earning money, a check, without going to jail, right? In their brains, they already gossiped or planned some kind of financial advancement to where their earnings and income will buy them the property that was either foreclosed on a victim or a family member of the victim. So these people are earning money and they are like buying up your assets. They're buying up the assets with their wages. Like they're working for the city, getting a check, depositing it into the bank, and they're literally like buying foreclosures after crashing the economy. But half of them was crashing the economy, and then the other half of them are trying to prop up the economy, but they're both using this Jesus Christ horse shit about God and thanking God and he's the savior and I will preach to you righteousness and all this bullshit. And then after the criminal gets out of jail, they meet with them in their robes and say, hey man, how was your time in jail? Did you learn your lesson? And then the so-called criminal says, yeah, man, thank you so much. I was wrong, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But the motherfucker was a victim. He was never wrong. So this is the weirdest shit ever. But anyway, I got to go back to my job and doing what I do, which is the rescue operation for climate change and working with FEMA and the United Nations and emergency management systems. And I got to rescue everybody in this weird political garbage, right? So rescuing everybody in this political situation, it's a little tricky. I would have to use something like what the presidents do, right? They pass out like a Purple Heart for people, like prisoners of war or POAs or whatever. Or POWs, I think. Yeah, something like that. I would have to use that with the criminals or the so-called criminals that's in jail, right? Because we could call it like a friendly fire or something like that, or an undercover situation. If we say, hey, Satan Christ is an undercover FBI agent, and ever since birth, all the pure Democrats that always voted Democrat within the federal government, local government, state government, they are also undercover agents. If Jesus was born with a miracle, these people that's employed now could also be considered a miracle. So we could literally re-leverage the judicial system with the gun and the badge, because when you go undercover, sometimes you can't blow your cover. So if these Democrats was using the Jesus and the Bible and righteousness and all of that, the same thing the Christians are doing and the Republicans and the GOPs, what happens is the Democrats will have immunity similar to that of an undercover agent. So once we do that, we can rapidly stabilize the court system and the legal system and the court cases. And after we do that, or while we're doing it, we're getting ready for coastal evacuations. So these are my findings for today. It's more like a pity fuck for the Democrats by me like trying to twist my brain to figure out how to like fix their fuck up. And yeah, that's basically the most solid plan that I got right now for future operations. So, yeah, this bullshit $9 check, they could go suck a dick. And I'm going to keep it moving, yo. I would never, for the man that was in handcuffs today, that they wanted me to like somehow like be the fate, this decision making or maker of his future and his life. Yeah, man, this is for you, yo. This bullshit check, $9. They could shove it up their ass, yo. So sometimes life is tricky, man. So if I really wanted to go to trial, like I tried my best to answer all them fucking questions correctly, yo. That way I could get on the panel, because I would have like literally said whatever I had to say. And the dude's a victim based on whatever I discovered in his case. And all them lawyers, they full of shit. So if they trying to force him to take a plea deal, we've been in a civil war for going on 10 fucking years. And I think it's fucked up. So the only plea deal is if they let him go. Like no probation, no time, nothing, yo. So that would have been like the greatest outcome, because he's a victim. So is the person that he murdered, if he did murder somebody. And whoever's, like, let's say he stole some shit. Like, it's a weird system. Like, if he stole from a Republican, the Republicans are criminals, so it's self-defense and survival mechanisms that the theft happened without having the power and authority. So the Republicans, they got the power and authority because they're always pushing this biblical horse shit, and the gods are like going along with it as if they're like mentally slow or have mental problems, according to Megyn Kelly. So yeah, that's the status update today. Yeah, so I covered the contempt situation. I covered the employees. I covered my jury duty summons. And I think that's all I got for this video. Gotta go, peoples.